May 3rd that evening, I believe the strongest winds recorded at 301 miles per hour was right there in the Bridge Creek area, which is where our church is located. The storm was a direct hit. I mean, we were right in the middle of it. We lost our entire facility. We had, a large auditorium that seated around 400, numerous classrooms, youth room. At that time, we had about 8 acres. We had a house that was there on that 8 acres that our music minister lived in, him and his family. All of that was destroyed. There was nothing of any value really that was salvageable from it. Our new van, church van we just bought, was sitting in the middle of our auditorium, and so we knew that couldn't stay there. First, it was just a blur, that shock of seeing the devastation unlike anything we had ever experienced. And the initial is just shock. You're just overwhelmed by the disaster, the devastation that's there. We had significant loss of life within our community. And so you just kind of go, where do you even start? We had a lot of hurting people, a lot of people that were asking a lot of questions, that this was going to impact them emotionally. And so it was not only a toll for them, but us. By day 2 or 3, there was rarely a person that hadn't just broke down and cried. Even people who had experienced war, who had experienced very difficult circumstances. It was overwhelming. We had several of the news stations that came out, and one of the things that was asked frequently was, you're a church. You're kind of like, under that umbrella of God supposed to be. And do you think God was mad at you? Why do you think this happened to you, your church? We had folks in the community that really struggled with, why did God let this happen? Did God cause this? Did God let it happen? All of those kind of questions came up. And I believe anytime there's a catastrophic event, if we're all honest, I think we all kind of ask that question to a certain degree. And you can go to the scriptures and begin to dive into it and get some of your answers. But I really truly believe for most of us in the background, we have this envision of a loving God, that heart shape, and we build this thought process of who we believe He is. And Isaiah, he said in Isaiah, basically God says, "My thoughts are not your thoughts. Your ways are not my ways." And so I don't think we have even a glimpse of really who God is, and the magnificence of Him, and what He does and why He does what He does. One of the reports I saw this week, we have this crew that's filming this lady, and she's just thanking God for saving her, and she's praying and said, I even prayed for my dog. And behind her in the rubble, is movement, and they pan over there, and there's her dog. And she's thanking God for saving her and her dog. Meanwhile, just down the street are children who lost their lives, and parents that are asking the question, does God care about a dog over my child? And those are legitimate questions to be asking. But what I find interesting is God's not afraid of our questions. He encourages our questions. To basically tease out, if you will, our faith in Him, and trying to get a better glimpse of who He is and what He wants for our lives. We've in ministry, you're around a lot of people that have horrible things that happen to them. A loss of a child, a loss of a husband or a wife unexpectedly, parents, those kind of things. But in that loss, sometimes unexpected, you have an opportunity to discover more about who God is than anybody else. And so, God never promised, as the song goes, that was sung long ago, a rose garden. But on the contrary, he tells his most closest guys, those 12, he goes, there's going to be troubles. There's going to be difficulties. Get ready. He said, but here's what I'm promising you. I'm going to promise you a peace that is beyond any kind of understanding. And then he gives us that same peace, that same opportunity for peace.